You know who we should have got here for the Pro Bowl plays? Timmy. We should have had Timmy be one of the players here. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the first ever WGLNA Pro Bowl. I'm your host, Christian Toma. To my left, David Williams. Make sure to check us out on Facebook and YouTube /WGLNA. If you're not watching this on battleviewer.com, go over there right now and check it out. And finally, follow us on Twitter @WGLNA so you guys can stay up to date on what's happening in the community around you. And now normally I say and answer the question of the day, but we don't have a question of the day because this isn't the regular season. This is the Pro Bowl. If you guys are just tuning in, what happened? We had an ELC race around Himmelsdorf. #Utes Faults team picked up that victory. We went into our first match where they also won. So now we are getting ready to go into an artillery fight before our second match set. So let's pull up the rosters again for both of these teams on the side of #UtesFault, on the side of Trevzor's team. I'm your father. Those are the pro players that you will be seeing here tonight. And if you guys missed out on the fantastic cliff play by Blue Boys captain, please go back after this and watch it. It was phenomenal. It was so fun. It was basically what I feel like is every single battle should have something like that here in the Pro Bowls. Two pro players on the same tank, both low on HP. Stakes could never be higher. Stakes could never be higher. And that's basically what happened. So you got to go back and watch that. It was fantastic, phenomenal. Right now, an artillery fight. Berts just duking it out, a bunch of them.
Now, see, I was told that this was supposed to be called battle boats, which I'd never heard of before, and they told me, oh, you get FV304s, you lock them in cruise control, you drive across the field in Malinovka, and you see if you can fire at each other. So they can't stop moving ever.
Oh, really?
Right? And I was like, oh,
I didn't know that.
FV304. It sounds to me like it should be called battle Berts.
That is right, ladies and gentlemen. So how it goes, we're going to have Berts driving across an open field. They cannot hit their brakes. They're going to be shooting at each other. Let's see which team wins. Hey, let's get right into it and take a look at what we've got for our tanks.
Well, will you look at that? Welcome to the Reddit Pro Bowl, where the teams are made up and the damage points mean nothing. What we've got for both sides, all FV304s.
Hey! Nice little Who's Line reference right there. They have 30 minutes to do this, so we've got plenty of time, guys. Go grab a bob of popcorn. Have you ever had a bob of popcorn?
No. No, in fact, I am scared to ask what it is.
Oh, already. I am your father lobbing out those shots. And look, it's like it's just like fireworks going through. It's the 4th of July, ladies and gentlemen. Absolute chaos here coming out on both of these teams. Oh, who will come out on top? It looks like right now Darth Vader just gets eliminated. Shimbo takes a lot of damage as well. And look, they cannot hit their brakes. They just have to drive in circles. Oxneve takes down Magenta Panda. Wallhax finds Dodo. Man, this is so fantastic. For I Am Your Father, Canadian does pick up Mr. Man. That is the first take down for I Am Your Father. But Oxneve takes out Executives, leaving just Master Pupil, Chai Sniper.
Oh, we've got a cheater over here.
Oh, who was it? Who was it?
Darth Vader stopped. I think that's against the rules.
Oh, it doesn't matter. Shimbo takes down Master Pupil, leaving just Chai Sniper alive. Just gets lit up by absolutely everyone. Wallhax takes down Oxneve, but it doesn't matter. I Am Your Father is going to pick up that fun victory on artilleries. The start of that fight. I want to go back and make a video where it's that intro with just
all the arcs.
Like Ode to Joy and all these just crazy.
That's actually a really good idea.
We'll do it. Don't worry, we'll do it. That was fantastic.
Feel like a super hype intro for WGLNA.
Yeah,
like treat it all seriously, like that's the pro format.
Yeah. Everyone's
Maybe
like,
it should be.
Everyone's like, I want to go watch that. I would watch that. The other fun thing was watching.
Can you imagine being a player in that? You're like, I don't know who's gonna win. You're like, so how are you feeling about your preparations? It's like, well, I've been really practicing my M1, and I've been making lots of sacrifices to R and Jesus, so I'm feeling good about today.
I've been really double clicking that R as fast as I possibly can, or is it triple clicking? Double is auto.
It's double. Well, so there's 3 ranks, but pressing it twice takes you to full.
Oh, so
if you don't want to be on the second one, I think you have to press it twice in R and then one F. I don't know.
Okay, so double clicking R. But that was the fun thing too is watching so many members on those teams, like all these tanks, and yet the max HP was like 2,000 there.
So
can we check out
overall,
stats?
I mean, there's nothing really to go to stats for.
Right.
Vetro had the most damage with 633, which is 200 more than anybody else.
That's so great.
And the most kills. So actually, I Am Your Father almost completely evenly spread out their kills. Everybody got a kill. except
Wow.
Ox Thief got 2.
Wow. Well done,
And Mr. Man didn't get one. Obviously, you can't just make a kill up out of
Darth
nowhere.
Vader. Well, yeah, that probably wouldn't work out super well there. But that was a super fun. It was very enjoyable indeed. I do kind of wish that we could just do that 10 times in a row. I mean, that was over really quick. Driving without hitting brakes and turning on those. I mean, I don't know. Obviously,
It's not easy.
you've never. What is like the turn radius on that artillery?
No idea.
Yeah, I guess no one cares about that ever. Oh, let's see the turn
it
radius.
might
on-
matter under
the-
some circumstance.
The turn radius on this artillery.
At full speed, if you were to make probably the least likely possible turn in any tank, what would that be?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know.
Okay, well, that's fine. That's totally fine, David. It's okay because Trevzor's team, I Am Your Father, picked up that victory. So one fun match going over to #UseFault, one fun match going over to Trevzor's team, I Am Your Father. And again, these guys are playing for some sweet, sweet headsets, and the loser gets a pot to the face. So there's a lot on the line here, and that pot of the face is going to be going down for the finals, February 27th in Las Vegas, Nevada. It's going to be fantastic. If you're there, you guys get door prizes. If you're not, we're going to give out fantasy prizes for you guys who are watching. So it's a great time. Tune in. Make sure you don't miss it. And then after that, in April 8th and 9th is going to be the 2016 Worlds. We have the grand finals happening over in Warsaw, Poland. The best 12 teams of World of Tanks are going to be battling out with a prize pool of over $300,000. David, you've been in that situation before. You've gone to Worlds there. Tell me about that kind of experience. I mean, walk me through a trip through kind of memory lane.
It's kind of a long topic. It's just a very different fight overall. Here in North America, we always have a type of meta that we create that's different from a lot of the other parts in the world for a number of reasons. Some of it has to do with probably an overall lower amount of talent pool. I mean, the other servers are bigger than ours.
Okay.
So some things aren't necessarily as possible. Europeans tend to favor a little bit more loose play, while we tend to favor a little bit more of kind of a concise strategy
yeah.
that has steps. But they're able to kind of flex around and just call on the fly. And everybody kind of is able to figure out what to do because that's the style of play over there. The server is different here, like we've talked about in the past. When you're getting sniped because you have a high stats or you're from a certain clans, you can barely move. You got to make sure every time you're doing something, you're going to get a kill for it. You can't really just
so
go
much
run and
pressure.
gun that much.
So much
So
pressure.
I feel like it impacts how teams learn to play in each region as well.
Sure.
So when you get there, I feel like North American teams historically have had a number of teams that could play on a style of game like Europe or Russia, perhaps even on the upper echelon of that group. But when you go from North America and you have such little time and you don't get to practice that meta with those people, you practice here. And you go over there, everything's just different. And it's very common, at least it was for us, to go back and look at a game and just be like, well, we psyched ourselves out of that. We could have
Really?
won it, but we just talked ourselves out of it because we weren't ready. We weren't preparing against what we were actually going to play, and that's just a problem. But other than that, I mean, it's a lot of fun to go meet everybody. I mean, I've met so many different players from all the different regions. It's a lot of fun. I mean, I met Arclit for the first time in China, like 2012. Saw him again in 2013. Saw him in Minsk, Poland, and stuff.
Yeah,
so
get to see the
so
community,
it's fun. It's fun
build
to
relationships.
it's fun to do that kind of stuff. I mean, if we're getting into story time,
Yeah.
probably one of my favorite
Oh, we got story time.
favorite stories out of everything is Arclit in China.
Wait, this
was
already
just-
sounds great.
was
Arclit
just
in China.
I mean, first off, he's huge. He's bigger than I am.
Okay.
Like, it's just a monster. So him in China already is kind of comical on its own.
Gotcha.
But he was wearing a shirt that was in like the Obama style colors. You know what I'm talking about, like the
Yeah,
red, the
yeah,
blue,
yeah,
and the
yeah,
white.
yeah.
But it was his own face, and it said "dope" underneath it, right? And then he's wearing a horse mask.
What?
And this is at like a giant player dinner for all of
What?
WCG. So there's dozens of teams there from
Arclit,
different
well
countries, from
done.
different games. So there's like there's like super pro like Warcraft 3 players that are looking at all these tanks guys like, what are you all doing?
What the
and
heck are
Arclit's
you guys?
playing up the horse mask, like talking to people and then looking at
Very,
him like that.
very distinct
Oh
movements.
man, I couldn't contain myself for probably like 20 minutes. It was so funny.
I hope I see that here in Las Vegas
I
when
have
the
a picture
finals
about it
happen.
somewhere.
Oh, well then let's just put that on Twitter after this. But right now, ladies and gentlemen, the second match set is about to get underway. We're starting out on to Himmelsdorf. #UseFault on offense. I'm your father on defense. Let's get right into it and take a look at what we've got for our tanks.
For Utesfault 2215 Sanaya 7, T22 an E3, and an AMX 1390 for I Am Your Father, a 113, an FE 215B, a T22, a WZ 11114, a T30, and a Waffle, wait for it, E100.
Oh, yeah, bringing that waffle out. Let's see what that does. The tank it just looks so good.
Got a shot. See, this is what I was talking about with that sweater pattern. It's cool. It's cool. Don't get me wrong. I'm not hating. I like it.
Don't you hate, David?
I like it.
Don't you hate at all.
Overlord Prime, what do you think about that sweater pattern? You chime in. Oh, hello. Hi. Hi. You probably can't hear me, so I'm going to assume you're saying, it's tight, yo. I have several sweaters like this in my closet, in fact.
It's dope. He's actually wearing one right now. We can't see it.
We discussed redoing the entire Simp jersey in this burgundy plaid style. It does fit our color scheme, but we were struggling to find the appropriate age sponsors to really reinforce this idea. We were pitching to somebody, and they basically said, who's our market? You know, people who are up to 70s fashion that also play video games. I have a feeling that is an incredibly slim margin.
David, did you get that all from his lips?
Yeah, you know, I actually am telepathically linked to Overlord Prime.
Oh, okay.
So, you know, any of those times you might see him make a mistake, it's because I'm just screaming nonsense into his brain.
No,
and it gets very difficult to deal with. Yeah.
David. Well, I mean, they made it to the finals, so I guess they definitely deserve it this time. Overlord Prime taking a shot there in that T22. Just gonna wait for the reload. Doesn't need to force it.
Watch this. Prime, if you can hear my thoughts, have absolutely no reaction whatsoever. Good, great.
Wait, is blinking a reaction?
No. The triple blink is just.
That's his way of saying
that's
yes.
Just a side effect.
Oh, that makes sense. That's when he's receiving the information.
Yes.
A lot of sense is being made right now. Executives,
see, we went off about how it's an entire team of Overlord Prime, but the trick is, it's an entire team of me through Overlord Prime.
What?
Yep.
Should you be saying this?
3 meta, 3 fast.
That's just too much for me. I don't know if I can handle that.
Shimbo on the corner with a 113 trying to block Dotama and Overlord Prime coming down this side. We've got a push up from Utes Fault up the 8 line, and right now I Am Your Father is in a precarious position, and we'll see if they're able to box their way out of this. But right now it's going to be a 215B and a 113 versus an E3 and a T22. Hard to say who's going to win that. I typically give it to 215B though.
Oh, right now 305 going to Vetro. Overlord Prime taking a little bit in that T22. Dodo coming to chime in there in his E3. Meanwhile, Darth Vader and Mr. Man from I Am Your Father sitting back, waiting for one of those 2 tanks to poke out. And they'll be able to get a nice volley into them. They are still unspotted, so Utes Fault does not know that they are there. Shots going back into, it looks like Shimbo and Vetro bouncing a lot of them. For the Prime taking another one there. Shot being bounced from Dodo. And E3, a little bit of track damage. He's not going to reload, so he's not worried about it. 458 though. Woo, a nice shot there from Shimbo. Vetro taking another one there. Now, dude, at this kind of angle, at this corner, is it pretty easy to constantly track, or is it still difficult at tier 10?
It's fairly easy to constantly track to penetrating T22 and E3. That's much harder.
Whoa.
A lot of damage coming out on Master People as they attempt to cross, but Vetro and Shimbo about to be caught in between 2 different units of Utes Fault.
This is not going to be good right now. Akula bouncing a lot of shots there. 891 in that 5B as I Am Your Father was ready for anything that's about to happen. Chai Sniper taking 16. 7 Tesla takes down Master Pupil, and that is the first tank falling for #UseFault. Akula goes down as well. Mr. Man picking that one up, and I'm Your Father looking great right now as they should be able to take down Chai Sniper. This I7, he should not be able to get out of here as Mr. Man is going to finish him off as well. A shot there coming down from, it looked like Dodo on Mr. Man. Does get a little bit of damage. There he goes. Overlord Prime does find Shimbo in that 113. 7 Tesla takes down Executives in that 1390. And now Magenta being surrounded by 4 members of I Am Your Father. Darth Vader is going to finish him off there in the E5, leaving just Dodo and Overlord Prime. The same 2 tanks that started the fight, while the last 2 tanks alive.
The boys getting some easy shots in around the outside. And a nice counterplay by I Am Your Father, picking off the right units at the right time. Utes Fault overplaying, certainly in the 8 line.
Dodo bouncing a certain death shot there in his E3, but right now Darth Vader and Blue Captain coming around the corner. Vetro actually picking off Dodo there from down the A line. Now for the Prime will be going down, and this is going to be I Am Your Father now picking up their first victory of match number 2. Battle 1 here on our Pro Bowl for 2016. Congratulations to them. And again, it's the first of 3, so it's the best of 5. So one more. They're one away, and a lot of pressure on hashtag Youthsfall to start coming back. And if it all ties up here, we're going to be going into a third match set between both of these pro teams. David, one thing I kind of want to ask, let's go into stats. Yeah,
You're learning.
I read your mind. Maybe you told me to do that.
For me to know and you to be paranoid about. 2,300 for Dodema, 2,300 for Overlord Prime, 1,900 for Magenta Panda, everybody else below 1,000. And for I Am Your Father, Vetro with 3,300, 2,400 out of Wall Hacks, 2,300 out of Blue Boys, 1,900 out of 7 Tesla, 16 Darth Vader, 16 Mr. Man. Even Shimbo getting in 1,300 there from very precarious position. So overall, a great game for I Am Your Father.
Congratulations to them. So the question that I had is, as a pro player, like you said, you build friendships with the community. It's good to see the guys actually in real life when you go to these big events. You start kind of building those over your course of play. When you put a bunch of them on the same team that are generally opponents to each other, do you suspect a difficulty for them to maybe get along? What if you have
No. I doubt. I doubt they're going to be hostile at any point. The difficulty is in cohesion, is playing together. Because teams do it. Some teams don't do it at all, and other teams they have to struggle to work out how that's gonna work because they're not necessarily intuitively on the same page, and you have to figure out a communication style or a lot of practice to get those people to operate together. So that I think is difficult for them. But just to get along and smile and be nice in a group of fun matches like this, not hard at all.
Cool.
They probably enjoy it quite a bit.
Cool. I was wondering if there's like anything like, this guy shot me back in season 1.
Stuff like this is actually how you get some people to jump teams because they actually got to play with somebody else that they liked. And they got a taste of it. Well, let's bring him on. He was actually pretty good.
What if we see next season just these two teams as actual teams?
Highly unlikely.
Just break apart the entire community because they really enjoyed playing together. No, it's definitely not going to happen here. But what did happen was I'm Your Father is up 1 game. Now, did you see anything interesting there again? Overlord Prime and I can't remember who the other one was, kind of holding that corner there on the A line.
That was
Dodo.
Shimbo.
No,
Shimbo, and it wasn't Overlord Prime that was with him. I believe it was Ox, maybe? I can double check that here in a second. But it was Overlord Prime and Dodo that were trying to push the corner on the offensive side.
Yeah, so now you have these two tanks that are going back and forth, getting those shots off. Talk to me about that kind of in a real game. I mean, that was a real game, but in an experience where you're doing that, what do you want to bait out the shots first? Are you trying to get the shot? What are you looking for in those corners, those angles you're looking at? Like, where are you hitting on the tank when you have those very intense corner battles that just kind of go back and forth? Because that happens a lot in public matches, right? You're usually in any city map, you're with another one of the members on the team, just at a corner with a lot of other guys in the corner. So what should your goal be then? Like, what are you going to do in that situation?
Well, it depends. I mean, if that's somebody who's in your platoon, then you probably want to share hit points and make sure that you can win and keep them alive so you have as many guns as possible.
Okay.
If they're not in your platoon, it depends on what type of player you are. Some people just treat other people on the teammate like HP sponges, because they can't trust them, and sometimes that is true. I usually like to kind of keep an eye on that player, and if I see them do a few things, like they try and cover from me, or they're very conscious about making sure that I have room to fire, they're not blocking me off. Basically, if they're trying to synergize and not being selfish, then I'll do it too. I don't necessarily care if they're great or not. Most of the time, I've always played pubs. I haven't necessarily been there just to farm damage or to win on its own, but to practice different little elements that I was going to need for clan wars or whatever. So a lot of it was situational awareness and intuition. So it depended. Sometimes I'd be like, this guy, I mean, he's working, but in order to win this match, I've basically got to let him die. And then there are other times when it's like, who knows how this match is going to go? I'm going to work with this guy and just see what goes on. Maybe send him a PM afterwards. Be like, nice battle, buddy.
All right. Hey, nice battle, bud. I get it. Ladies and gentlemen, we are now getting ready to go to our next battle. I'm Your Father is up 1-0 against hashtag Youthsfault. Can hashtag Youthsfault tie it up? Or will I Am Father go 2-0? Let's get right into it and take a look at what we've got for tanks.
Youthsfault with 2-1-13s, 2-2-1-5s, 2 W100s, an AMX 1390. I Am Your Father with a 113, 2-2-1-5s, a T22, a W100, a WZ 1114, and a T30. So, actually, for when I first got my press account and people didn't know what its name was, if I ever ended up on a corner or something like that with a pro player or somebody that I knew, I used to kind of do the same thing, but in a little bit more of an amusing way for myself. So after the battle, I'd be like, wow, You're like the best player I've ever seen. How did you get so good? Will you sign my autograph? Like you should play in the pro league and just keep going.
Like
up
I am
and see what people would respond with. Some people just ignore you. Like, wow, this guy's weird. Either way, I get my laughs.
Yeah,
so whatever.
sure. That's all that matters. That's all that matters at the end of the day.
But the secret got out. I don't know the account name now.
Only a couple no minds from the pro players. It's quite enjoyable. Blue Boys captain.
Can always change it.
Taking oh yeah.
Yeah.
All right, changing it. Taking 402 there in that T22 from Master Pupil. And a much different set of vectors coming up from both these teams. We only have Executus in that 1390 who's gone to that A0 position to look out for the road. Shimbo taking 426, so a little bit more damage done to I'm Your Father than to #UseFault. Finally, a little bit going there onto Canadian Impact's 113 from Blue Boys himself, backing off in that T22. Now, again, we kind of talked about how in this battle, in this kind of mode, what we'll be seeing is a lot of mediums, just kind of finding a place to fight.
Maybe not on Himmelsdorf.
Oh, okay,
it's a different situation.
Okay, gotcha. I was gonna say, why are we seeing everyone like in the courtyard of the center? Why aren't they all just?
This is actually indications that they're having some sort of conversation or actually trying to work out a strategy and just instead of just going somewhere. I mean, you don't just naturally luck into that many people shoving across courtyards.
Oh,
so.
Executus. He was caught on fire by 7 Tesla's T30, and he went down with just one shot.
T30 is a great tank on that kind of position on the hill. You've got the depression to fire down the other side, turret armor, and a pretty big gun.
Sounds great. Sounds fantastic. Oh, here comes the push from I Am Your Father. Now coming around there, going to find Magenta Panda in the 113, but Shimbo is going to get lit up as he turns the corner from all 3 members there of UseFault. Magenta Panda taking 95. Shimbo starting to back up out of there. Mr. Man takes him as well, and what I'm Your Father went around the corner to do, they did not accomplish as Magenta Panda is still alive. Looks like Mr. Man is getting there, but Shimbo taking 597, even more shots. Going to that 113. Canadian Impact is just going to come around the corner, take him out. Look at that confident play. Oh, Canadian Impact. It's like, hey, guys, I got this. They got one of our tanks. Let's just take one of theirs. A 113 for a 1390. Easy. Easy peasy any day.
Well, if they can get all the way across the map, they've got a guaranteed overmatch, considering there's 2 tank destroyers on top of the hill. But the problem is they're limited by 2 of their own. And now a T22 driven by Blue Boys is starting to get that flank coming out.
Oh, Mr. Man is one more shot away. Looks like Canadian Impact. No, he's going to do that damage on to Darth Vader. There, Akula now coming from behind. And some nice shots all the way up there. Dodo takes down Oxley. Trogger E100 is now gone. Only 5 tanks remain for I'm Your Father. 6 still for #UseFault. But a lot of the members are extremely low, especially as Dodo and Master get down to one more shot away. Mr. Man takes down Master Pupil. Overlord Prime does find Blue Boys captain though. So #UseFault going to continue that gun lead, but not for long. If I'm Your Father can find a couple very key kills, Vetro takes down Akula. Canadian Impact has to be careful there. One shot from Darth Vader for 446, but he is going to finish off Darth Vader himself in that 113. Mr. Man now comes around the corner. One shot right into Canadian Impact and is going to finish him off. And now all of a sudden, #UseFault and I'm Your Father tied up. And I'm Your Father has the HP advantage.
They have some HP, but they do not have the positions. Now, if they're able to squeak out along the 8 line, maybe get a shot in Magenta Panda from the windows or ledge or something, then they could be in business putting on some pressure on the 2 cap. But it's not going to be completely safe. And instead, they're going to go for a kill on Magenta,
wow.
risking 2 low health tanks right now. Certainly banking on Overlord Prime being reloading. He is not. 3 shells left in his overall magazine.
Dodo has 5 as well.
And Dodo is 1 shot, though, and if he is not careful, he's going to give away potentially this entire match. Mr. Man's cannon turned just in time. Dodo has the opening. Mr. Man,
oh no!
Maybe not loaded himself.
Not yet. No, he just got finished reloading.
He's ready. He's got a better position, though, and if Vetro can get that shot, Vetro takes him down, and Overlord Prime responds.
So both tanks ending each other's whole careers right there. Here on to Himmelsdorf.
It's a pretty good situation to take both the 1-4 and the T30 and put it on the 2 cap and bring this match home.
All right, put that pressure on. It's going to be up to Overlord Prime to respond as they are on defense. Looks like that was the exact call. 7 Tesla starting to head in that way as well up on top of the hill in that T30. Going to get that nice momentum, nice speed to join Mr. Man. We'll see what Overlord Prime is going to be doing. David, in these situations, all right, so if you are Overlord Prime and you know you now have to respond, you have to drive in, you're low health, but you do have 5 shots there in that Waffle E100. What is going to be your like which angle are you going to come into this northern cap? Are you going to come in over, at B3? Are you going to try to go around and come in from the courtyard side, maybe D5? Are you going to try to go something crazy and go way in behind him and try to flank him from the back?
Well, I mean, it's all going to come down to timing. He's probably going to have to go up one of the more obvious paths, either the 5 line or the 8 line, to come in from behind. 5 line looking like it's going to be better. 7 Tesla taking a great position to overwatch Mr. Man. Tesla can definitely one-shot Prime. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. Mr. Man, close enough? Not exactly. It's going to depend. Maybe we can get a lucky fire or something like that. And other than that, you know, Overlord Prime doesn't have a whole lot of options here. The odds that he's going to clip out both of these tanks really depends on whether 7 Tesla misses her shot.
Yeah. I'll say, well, if he gets there and he can finish off Mr. Man without dying, 7 Tesla will not have enough time to put cap pressure on. But then he would have to run away. She
won't have enough time to reload. That's the big thing. If Overlord Prime pokes around the corner and he shoots Mr. Man before Mr. Man shoots him, and 7 Tesla misses or only tracks him, or doesn't kill him in that shot somehow, she's loaded with HE trying to, I don't know, for some reason, then he could potentially clip her out before she even finishes loading.
Wow. All right. So it is. It might come down to 7 Tesla hitting a shot or not there in that T30. 30 seconds on the clock here. Mr. Man, the WZ 111 1-4. I just call it the WZ. 20 seconds on the clock. Just be careful. All right, he's going to come riding from the side. He's not going to go from the back. He's just going to face Mr. Man. He's looking for him. He now knows exactly where he has to be. They now proxy spot each other. 10 seconds on the clock.
Not good.
That is not good at all. What you guys see, there it is, over the Prime. That picture-in-picture. He's in the box. He's trying to find the best angle to take the shot. And Mr. Man is actually going to finish it off. I am your father now, going 2-0 against you. Mr. Man, he was the one who really did. I mean, 7 Tesla also was there, and Mr. Man's like, "Again, I got this. I'm also a pro player." So he was able to find that shot at the end. Is that what you kind of feel would happen? Is that?
Yeah, more or less that's what I expected. I'm a little bit confused about one thing, but I'm going to figure it out.
Okay, great. And while you figure that out, I will kind of talk about how awesome it's going to be to tune in February 27th for the WGLNA Season 2 Finals happening in Las Vegas, Nevada here, where Noble, Simp, High Voltage, and Eclipse are going to be battling out for the first place prize of $75,000. Again, we are giving door prizes away if you're there. You can get a hug from Nagatron if you're there. If you're not there, you're going to get prizes. He's shaking his head, but inside his heart, he means yes. He's super excited for that moment. You see, there it is. He just keeps saying he's super, super excited. And again, it's going to be a fantastic time, so please go over and check it out. David has now figured out what he was perplexed about.
Yeah, I was wrong. I didn't realize the 1-4 had that kind of alpha. It could one-shot and did one-shot.
Oh, okay. Well, that's okay. Gotcha. So you didn't think Mr. Man could have?
He got a high roll, but certainly. But,
hey, well done. Should we go into stats? Should we check out some sweet stats from that match?
You know?
Because I'm thinking they're going to be sweet.
Yeah, let's go ahead.
Sweet Pro Bowl.
Let's go ahead and do that.
Let's do that.
So, for Utes Vault, Canadian Impact 3,300, 2,700 for Overlord Prime, 2,400 for Akula, 2,000 for Master Pupils, 1,800 for Magenta Panda. For I Am Your Father, 3,652 out of Darth Vader, 3,247 for 7 Tesla, 2,716 for Vetro, 2,208 for Mr. Man, and everybody else falling below 1,500. Mr. Man picked up 4 kills.
Well,
in the 1-4.
Well done indeed. Oh, we should have been. We can go back and check it out. So we should have been like tallying up out of the pro players, who's the pro player to get crazy about it. Maybe we should ask you that. Maybe that should be the question I'm going to ask the chat. Chat right now, as you guys have been watching, let us know who you think is the pro player of the Pro Bowl 2016.
Well, so far, Blue Boys is the only one to just save a match completely out of the fire.
Right. So he's definitely the one in my mind. If you guys missed that again, it was on Cliff. It was amazing. Go back and watch that when you guys get a chance. But right now, I'm Your Father is up 2-0 against #UseVault. One more, and they'll take match number 2, and it's going to tie it up as far as sets goes. We'll have to do a tie-breaker match set to see who the victor is, who gets the sweet PC 320 headsets, who gets a pie in the face. It's going to be decided all here tonight. I mean, that's the beauty of it. It is going to be decided here tonight. Another thing we want to let you guys know is this Saturday, World of Tanks is having a North American Community Night on Reddit. So go over there to Reddit, check it out, starting at 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And again, the Reddit community is the one who kind of helped us out, so shout out to them. Thank you guys for really being the ones who start putting this together, the great ideas, and it's been super fun to watch. I'm definitely going to throw in my vote for another Artie fight because that was awesome.
We've also been talking a little bit about a potential AMA for either me or both of us or something along those lines on Reddit as well in the World of Tanks section. So keep an eye out for that as well, as if we do it, and I think we will, it's going to be in between now and the finals, more likely than not.
All right, guys, so go over and check that subreddit out. World of Tanks, fantastic community over there. Shout out also to, is it Shank? Shut Up Shake, who this ties for you. Shut up, Shake. This ties for you, man. You were the one who gave me some sweet tie advice, so I'm gonna go with this awesome purple crazy one. I was gonna go with a bow tie tonight. I ordered camo bow ties, and unfortunately they just did not come in on time. And I was gonna be rocking a camo bow tie every time we came back in, but maybe that'll be for the finals. Another great reason to tune into the finals to see me in a camo bow tie. Hey, shameless plug, shameless plug. So now we're giving these teams a lot of time because
oh man,
we're giving these teams a long time to make sure that they have the. I mean, again, lots on the line. We want to give these teams as much time as possible to get the tanks that they want, to get the strategies. Again, a lot of shot callers on a team does not mean a lot of shots being called. You know, that's what you said. That's what you said, right?
Maybe, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't remember that, but you know, if you
yeah, you definitely said it.
If you're committed to it, then yeah, sure.
Yeah,
I'll
you
go
said
with that.
Chat's backing me up.
I said it.
Chat's totally backing me up right now on that one. So it's gonna be a fantastic, fun night here for the Pro Bowl. And 16 people. So David, looking at how this has been going, now Trezor's team might be picking up a victory here, and you
even the scales. We go into a third game.
Yeah.
Third match.
Rigged, am I right? No,
nope.
it's not. It's
not gonna.
You're
not gonna sucker me into that one.
Maybe I should go for the high five quicker and then say it as you're doing it. That is the way to get someone on your side. Ladies and gentlemen, we are now going into Ruinberg for potentially our final battle here on our second match set. I'm your father, just needs one more. Let's see if they can take it, or can hashtag #YouthsFault keep it alive. Let's get right into it and take a look at what we've got for our tanks.
You ever run into one of those people?
A tank?
Those people that do. Oh, we'll get back to that. YouthsFault with a 50B 2215s and mouse T22s. RU251. I am your father with the 113 2215s and object 260, 2 bat chats, and AMX 1390. I mean, one of those people who just kind of forces you to do what they want you to do, or at least that's how they think it works. So they call you and they're like, "Hey, you got some time to, like hang out on Saturday?" And you're like, "Yeah, sure." And they're like, "Okay, well, yeah, I'll call you at 1. You can help me move, and then after that, we'll watch the football game." "All right, man. See you later." And you're like, "I didn't agree to that. I didn't agree to that at all. We're no longer friends."
Wow! Oh, wow! that's the deal breaker. Right here.
I just feel no guilt. People do that kind of thing. It's like, I didn't say that.
Nah, that's totally fine. Chai Sniper now taking some shots there onto Mr. Man as he comes across there. Dodo, though, being spotted out as well. No, Mr. Man might be safely able to get over here to the Eastern Cap, joined by Blue Boys captain. I'm your father, definitely going here. Blue Boys going to get tracked there. In bad chat, looks like a quick repair to get out of the way of danger. Zakula and Overlord Prime. Nice position there, those 2 T22s, but it looks like I'm your father is not going to care. They're going to take this and go right into Delta Village, and they have found Executus. 840, 1430 going to that 5B. A couple more shots, and he'll be going down, but Oxthief has gotten extremely low as well. But Magenta Panda in that 50B is looking for Oxthief to finish him off, but the rest of I'm your father is doing their best, and they take down Magenta. That is 2 tanks gone for hashtag YouthsFault.
That's actually a surprisingly valid strategy, just on its own.
Guys, you're giving away too much for the finals. Dodo,
it's not something you could do a lot, but it worked.
Yeah, look, it worked. It worked beautifully. Vejo takes down Dodo there. Chai Sniper's there, and that mouse, 880 coming in from the back. Blue Boys and Oxthief going to start surrounding him. And this looks like it might be all over for hashtag YouthsFault. I'm your father, about to pick up their 3rd victory here. Oh, it's going to be, looks like we're going into that tiebreaker. Also, as you can see, both teams have decided to exchange their camos for one another. And they just wanted to, test it out. They got a little jealous. We, hashtag YouthsFault made a suggestion. They said, I like I'm your father's camos better. So we decided to switch them just for this match, though, to give everyone kind of what they want. Over the Prime, Akula, and Canadian Impact are the only ones who are alive for hashtag YouthsFault. And Prime actually keeping it alive, taking out Darth Vader in that 5B. 5 tanks inside of I'm Your Father, but only 1,085 points of damage there for the defending team. I'm Your Father should have this one in the bag. Mr. Man comes around the corner, takes the shot there on Overload Prime. He's going to finish him off, leaving just a Kula and Canadian Impact at T22 and an RU251. So, David, this valid strategy, was it something that hashtag Youth's Fault allow? Was it like a bait coming out from I'm Your Father?
No, it's Youth's Fault pretty much took some standard positions. Maybe one of the only thing not really being particularly standard there was a mouse. And I'm Your Father just found the exact angles they wanted to take. They pretty positive there were going to be 2 mediums going down the 0 line, and they were right. They got the picks by just focusing on the Delta Village and taking out 2 tanks very quickly that had to be there just due to how this map works. 7 Tesla trying to take down a Kula now. It's not too long until some reinforcements probably arrive. Or no, actually, I'm Your Father's simply going to cap out, force a Kula to come back across. But a Kula takes out 7 Tesla on the way.
There it is, a nice pickup there. Now he has to drive under fire. No, not under fire at all. Well, yeah, no, yep, under fire there. 218 coming out from the AMX 1390, driven by Wallhacks there in the north. 1 more shot, and he'll be going down. Caps down to 2 seconds. Wallhacks has how many more shots? 2 more shots there in that 1390. He has 1 more now. Can he find a Kula? No! It goes right over the top of him. The cap goes down to 0. It doesn't matter. I Am Your Father is going to clean sweep hashtag Youth's Fault 3-0, which I'm thinking kind of makes sense because we talked about if you have a lot of callers on a team, it might get chaotic. So the first game was them kind of getting used to each other. So hashtag Youth's Fault gets it. Now they're all used to each other. A clean sweep coming out from them.
Could be a map bias, but it certainly also looks like I Am Your Father's adapting a little bit better.
All right, stats.
Yeah, let's go ahead and do it. 3-0. 3-0. 7 Tesla leading off for I Am Your Father with almost 3,000 damage in an Object 260. 2148 at a Wallhacks in a 1390.
Yeah, that's about right.
An AMX 1390, second highest damage in the match. I'm actually as surprised he penned as many as he did on a Kula wall to drive across. I mean, he missed some of those last shots, but if you know a 1390, it's crazy he even hit some of them.
Really?
Vetro with 2,000, Darth Vader with 2,000, Blue Boys with 2,000, Ox Thief with 2,000. We'll just go ahead and be generous. Mr. Man with 2,000. Over here, for Youth's Fault, 3,500 from Akula, 2,400 from Dotama, 2,000 for Overlord Prime, 1,900 from Magenta Panda. Everybody else below 1,500.
Play kind of like you get 2,000 points, you get 2,000 points, everyone gets 2,000 points there as we end out our second match set of our 2016 WGLNA Pro Bowl with now I'm Your Father and hashtag Youth's Fault all tied up 1-1. When we come back from the break, the final tiebreaker match set is going to go down to see who wins the Sennheiser PC320 headsets or who gets a pie in the face. And before we do that, after the break, we're going to have one more ELC race around Winter Storm. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.